Easy money, get your easy money here. We going fishing. But not regular fishing, and not harpoon fishing, but hotspot fishing. So a few months ago I made a video about harpoon fishing, stating that it was pretty lucrative and possibly even more lucrative than going regular fishing. And at the time that was true. You see, the average price of fish, especially the yellow tier fish, was a lot lower than it is now. Yellow tiers, or rare fish, were usually priced between 40,000 and 50,000 silver apiece, but that wasn't the case with a very few of the other ones. Some of the fish that you could catch during harpoon fishing were actually priced around 90,000 to 150,000 and higher, so this made harpoon fishing a little bit better in the long run because you could catch those fish frequently in certain spots where you couldn't in others. However, Black Desert went through an update that changed the fishing scene entirely. Where rare fish were averaging around 45,000 silver, they're now priced at 100,000 silver or higher. In fact, a lot of them, almost all of them, got that value increase. So when that happened, harpooners like me were looking at a problem where that style of fishing was actually obsolete compared to other styles of fishing. Because the fish we were catching at harpoon fishing are now basically the same value as any other fish you can catch regular fishing. And especially hotspot fishing, now that the 100,000 fish are in every hotspot in the ocean right now, you can basically now earn twice as much silver hotspot fishing if you get lucky enough to find all the hotspots needed. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to take you to a good route for hotspot fishing out in the islands and the sea areas of this world. We're going to start off in the Balanos Islands. As you can see, we're coming up on a hotspot right now. I call them hotspots. Other people might call them something different, but names aren't really important. So I'm going to speed this up so we can get to the fish catching, and we'll be right back. One thing you'll need to note about hotspot fishing is that your level will increase the amount of hotspots you're able to see, your fishing level that is. My current fishing level is at Master 9, so I'm literally one tier under the highest tier for fishing, so I'm able to see quite a few of the hotspots where maybe some of the lower level fishermen might not be able to see. So that's something you want to take into mind when you're choosing to do hotspot fishing. You might not find a hotspot right away every time. There have been several instances in my case where I go out and it takes me quite a while to find any place to fish. Just a couple days ago I spent an hour trying to look for one hotspot, so luck has a big portion of when you're going out here to fish. Another thing you want to look at when you're coming out here to fish is your pets and your fishing gear should be relatively set for fishing. It'll make your fishing faster. The better gear you have, the better pets you have, the faster you'll be able to fish out here. And as you can see, I'm pulling in one right now. It's also going to be hard because you're going to have to hit those very large mini games every time. And this one is a sea bass, a spotted sea bass hotspot. These are quite common around the Balanos Islands, and their pricing is fairly decent. It looks like 141,000 per, so this is a really good fish to catch. I'm coming up on the last fish of this hotspot. You can usually tell it's the last fish when the hotspot disappears, but let's see how many we've caught total after this. It looks like I've caught 5 total. You're not always going to catch a whole bunch. There's a limited time frequency for these hotspots and sometimes a limited catch frequency, but most of the time you're going to catch around 7 or 8, maybe more, maybe less. This one was kind of a low one, so I'm going to assume that that hotspot had been there for a while. Lucky for us, another hotspot spawned just before that hotspot ended, so we're going to be able to get right back into it. That was actually really lucky for us. This doesn't usually happen. Sometimes you gotta go searching for hotspots. This was a very fortunate find for it to spawn right next to us. We're also now in the Olvia Sea, so it's a whole different area. It's going to be a whole different node affiliation. So these ones also look like spotted sea bass, just based off of the external art of the fish. We'll find out here in a second. It took a little while to get a fish on. It was more like 2 minutes to be exact, but we got ourselves a sea bass, so this is another sea bass hotspot. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that you need to set up your nodes when you're doing your fishing out here in the sea. For the sea bass we caught in the Balanos Islands, you're going to want to hook up to Luviano Island, because that one is the one that you're going to need for anything in the Balanos Islands. Anything else won't work. The next one for the sea bass that we caught here in the Ovia Sea, you're going to want to hook up your nodes to the Ovia Coast, which is right around here next to the Ovia City. It's pretty close. You might not be able to see it right away because you have to go hunting for it down at the beach, but that's the one you want for anything caught in the Ovia Sea. So at the end of this one, we caught way more than double of what we did for the first one, which this is about the average for the sea bass, and it's a pretty good take. I liked what we got there. So we're gonna head off to the next one. Actually, another one spawned about halfway through this this hotspot, so we're going to jump to it. I'm actually gonna cut my Ovia Sea route a little bit because now we're gonna start heading north. It looks like things are starting to spawn, which never happens. This is a third hotspot in a row, so normally we're just hunting. This is a really good find. Usually this hotspot indicates that we're going to be catching grunts, which aren't that great, but wouldn't it be something if this was actually a tuna hotspot? Because their outer artwork looks a lot the same as a grunt, so tunas are actually worth a lot more than a grunt is. That'd be so cool. And the moment of truth. It is a tuna. Nice. These guys are the best fish to catch from hotspots because they give you 154,000 silver. I really hope this is a good one. I hope I get more than just 2 or 3, which is the usual amount I get from these hotspots, and I don't know why, but tuna are my favorite to catch out here. So the last catch on this hotspot landed me with only 5, which is about average for what I catch on these hotspots of tuna. For some reason, maybe it's like tuna doesn't have as many fish in its hotspot than other ones, because I can never seem to catch more than 3, 4, or 5 of those guys in a hotspot. But regardless, we're heading off to another one because a 4th hotspot has spawned while we were fishing the tuna, miraculously, and you probably might not be able to see them yet, but on my screen on the computer I can see quite a ways, and I've learned how to look for signs of hotspots, so this is for sure a hotspot coming up here. We'll speed it up a little bit. So we're back in the Balanos Island region. Most likely this is a grunt hotspot, not a tuna hotspot. Don't expect to find tuna at the Balanos Islands. And yes, this is a grunt. My least favorite fish to catch because it's only worth 100,000 silver. I mean, it's still good, but there's so many of them, and they're kind of an ugly fish, to be honest. I really don't like them. But we usually catch a lot of grunts. Like, there's usually a bunch of grunts, so we'll find out here in just a second. Yeah, we caught a lot of grunts. So many grunts. And it doesn't look like I see any other hotspots for now, judging by the radius look. So let's ride off into the sunset! Holy cow, I had to drive all the way over to the other side of the Knox Sea just to find a hotspot. It took me like 10-15 minutes almost. This is ridiculous. But we found another one, and it looks like, from the looks of it, it could be grunts, but I don't remember catching grunts out here, so there's a very high possibility this might be another tuna hotspot, and if it is, that's a very lucky find because that's even more money in our pockets. Oh yeah, definitely a tuna hotspot. This is great. I'm hoping to catch more than just 5 this time around, but it's unlikely. We'll see. This is going to be excellent. This is a very good fishing trip today. Also, while we're here, the node you want to connect to in the Knox Sea is Invernon Island, which is right here underneath Lima Island. This is every fish caught in the Knox Sea is connected to Invernon Island. So this is the last fish in this hotspot, and I'm gonna admit this hotspot blew all of my expectations away. Way more than 5 were caught. Look at this. I've almost caught 2 whole rows of fish or of tuna in this one. I'm amazed. This is crazy. It just so happens that I'm now in the Eltro Sea, which is connected to the Shasha Island node, but this is a coelacanth hotspot. So I'm gonna get a coelacanth here really quick. You only get 1 per hotspot, but this is the big daddy of the hotspot fishing, 250,000, which I didn't expect to find one clear out here, but I guess the Eltro Sea has a hotspot for these guys, so that's cool. The Eltro Sea sucks. I've been out here for 10-15 minutes, haven't found a single hotspot, and now it's snowing. Eltro Sea, do not go hotspot fishing in this spot. Ever. I had to sail all the way to the Al Halam Sea just to find a hot spot. Hopefully this one's going to be an octopus, but wait, I don't recognize this fish. This is weird. I guess we'll find out what this one is. So in Al Halam Sea, you can actually catch the giant octopus, which is worth 140,000, or well, it's more than 140,000 silver a piece, and they're quite common around these islands. But the node you're going to have to connect to is called Orisha Island, which is not that one. Right here, this island here. It's to the right of Ilia Island, and it's going to be right at the mouth of that river that you can see to the right there. But there's Ilia Island, and there's Orisha Island, and everything else. Shakatu's right there near the mouth, if for reference. But yeah, once you connect that node, all the fish around here will be usable. Let's see what this sucker is. I don't remember catching any fish. Oh, it's a nibbler. A nibbler is these ones. So you can catch nibblers and giant octopus at the Al Halam Sea, just in case you guys are wondering. I have been bamboozled. I only caught 4. That node only gave me 4 nibblers. I feel rejected. Well, let's go find another. I'm pretty sure this one's an octopus hotspot. We'll find out in just a second, though. It seems promising. Yeah, there we go. There's the octopus. Giant octopus, 142,000. Great catch. Usually they give a lot, so I might be here for a while. I'm probably going to speed up all of this portion. So I'm done fishing. I'm here at Acondo Inner Harbor. That's way down by Valencia City in this little area here. You got to go down the river. You can connect all the nodes through the river, so it makes it really easy to get to Valencia City for connection. But I caught quite a few fish. I caught quite a few of the octopus. I caught more nibblers afterwards that I didn't record because I didn't see the point. But this is what I came out with. It's a pretty good haul, but it's only half of what I could have gotten. But if you come to this node manager and you sell your fish here, we'll find out what we can make off of it. It looks like the pricings on these aren't super great though. I don't understand. I've been fishing out in the ocean. Maybe the connection to the ocean isn't all that great. That's not a very good percentage. Oh well, we'll figure it out. We should be rounding around 20,000 to 30, or 20 million to 30 million silver by the time we're done with it. So with these percentages, there we go. So let's see what we get here. 24,872. That's not bad. It's not what I was expecting. I was hoping for a little more than 30, but I think I might have had to go to Grana for that, to be honest. This doesn't seem like a good trading post. I'm still experimenting with places to sell my fish. Maybe I should have just gone to Valencia City and sucked it up. But 24 mil isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. So that's what you can gain off of hotspot fishing right now. That was only 10 rows of fish. So just think about that when you're fishing. The higher the amount of fish you get, the better your sales are going to be. But that's hotspot fishing, and I'll see you later.